Okay, may we have your attention, please? Thank you all for coming. When there's many other activities tonight, you should all be commended for coming to this City Council candidates night. On behalf of the League of Women Voters of San Mateo County, South San Mateo County, I'd like to welcome you, the audience, and especially the candidates for being willing to run for office. This is a free public forum for the Menlo Park City Council. My name is Margaret Marshall. I'm a member of the League of Women Voters, and I'll be your moderator this evening. The League is a national, nonpartisan volunteer organization of women and men, and our main mission is to encourage your active and informed participation in government at every level. We don't endorse candidates or political parties. Our sole interest is helping voters get good information so they can make good decisions. And we always suggest that you look at the State League website, which is smartvoter.org, and you can get lots of information about any elections that you might have questions about. So, to begin, we ask everyone to please turn off their cell phones. I would encourage everyone that's sitting in the back of the room to move up closer, but I understand that people in classrooms like to sit near the back of the class, but we'd love you to move up closer if you could. Questions will be taken from the audience, and if you have a question, raise your hand and write it on a 3x5 card and give it to one of our question takers. We have wonderful volunteers here tonight. Our timekeeper is going to be Joanne Bruggeman, sitting in the front row. Our Debbie Mayo is collecting questions. She's there. Shirley Tamaris is gathering the collected questions, and Ellen Hope is in charge of the whole evening. So we're glad to be here. We're glad to get started. Each candidate will have 2 minutes for an opening statement, and then as questions are asked, they'll each have 1.5 minutes, and the timekeeper will put up a sign that says 1 minute left, a sign that says 30 seconds left, and a sign that says stop. So we're a little tighter about our debates than the presidential debates have been. Okay, everybody drew a number, so they're going to be speaking in the order in which the numbers they drew. So our first candidate is going to be Ray Mueller. I better get the right list here. And then Carolyn will be the last speaker, but when we give our closing statements, Carolyn will get to be the first speaker. So it'll all work out in the end. Are there any questions before we get started? Sir?
Would you say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Would you like to say the Pledge of Allegiance? We certainly can. I know you always do at City Council meetings. Who would like to lead the Pledge of Allegiance? Kelly, okay. Where did we go? Oh, there, it's behind me. Okay. Thank you for remembering to do that. Now, are there other questions before we begin? Okay. Ray, would you like to begin?
So good evening. I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Ray Mueller, and I'm chair of the Transportation Commission here in Menlo Park. I also am an attorney, and I wear many hats here in the city. I'm also a board member of the Los Alamitos Education Foundation and a development team member for the Ravenswood Education Foundation. You know, one of the things that I really want to impress upon you in my introduction, and it's something that I really want to impress upon the voters in the city, is I could talk about my qualifications, I could talk about what my vision is for the city, but the thing that I really want people to understand is the philosophy and the way that I approach city government. I'm not a person, in the history that I've been on the Transportation Commission, we've dealt with many issues. We've dealt with Facebook, we've dealt with the downtown specific plan, the Willows traffic study, Stanford Hospital expansion, all issues that were potentially issues that could ignite within the city political tension. And I'm really proud of the fact that when those issues came before me, I reached out into our community and I built consensus. I sat down with people of different backgrounds and I earned their respect and I earned their trust, and I went ahead and worked with them to represent their interests and try to do what was best for our community. What I'll do if I'm elected to city council really reflects upon what people have said to me, what they're concerned about. One, I'm very concerned about protecting our neighborhoods from crime, density, the things that come with density, traffic, etc. But I'm not afraid of them. And that's the secondary thing, because there are other issues in the city we have to look at. I will devote myself to looking at the empty lots downtown and really grappling with how can we fill those. And tonight we're going to discuss that issue. And I can tell you why they're not filled. I know, because I've done that work. And there's something else that I'll tell you. The third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into the industrial areas, and I'm going to go ahead and finally do what our city needs to do and streamline so that we can go ahead and bring revenue back for our budget. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. When you're in the middle of a sentence, we do let you finish your sentence. So thank you. Okay, Dave, you're next. Dave Bragg.
Okay, am I on?
You're on.
Okay, perfect. Hello, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for hosting tonight, all the folks in attendance and the ones that are watching on TV. My name is Dave Bragg, and I would like to explain to you why I believe I am born to serve on the Menlo Park City Council. Well, I believe it's the culmination of my life experiences that uniquely qualifies me to best serve in this role. When I was just 20 years old, I decided that I felt the need to join the military and serve my country. So I wanted to pick the one that was the most demanding, the most challenging, so I chose the Marine Corps. Little did I know that I would be leading men into battle on foreign soil. One of the things that I am most grateful for and proud of with that experience is that every Marine that I led into battle returned home safely. After being honorably discharged from the Marine Corps in active duty in 2003, I joined the fire department, where I got a taste of serving at the local level. And I have jumped in with both feet. I've been involved with the toy and food drive with Menlo Park Fire and some local agencies for several years and have served as the co-chair. I am not only a volunteer, a donor, and a builder with Rebuilding Together Peninsula, and you may have seen one of the playhouses I built with my crew and the firefighters on display at Stanford Mall last year. I also volunteer with MDA, Fill the Boot Drive, the Burn Foundation, the Pancake Breakfast, our annual Easter egg hunt, and this past year I had the pleasure of spending the night with my kids on the Relay for Life, also at Burgess Park. Currently, I am the head coach of the Menlo Atherton Vikings football Tiny Mites, which is a group of 5 to 7-year-old kids that play tackle football. This is an area where I have probably my most joy in the things that I do is coaching the young kids in football. In this role, I know that I influence these children, and in many ways. Camaraderie, I'm out of time. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Kelly Ferguson.
Good evening. My husband and I have been homeowners in Menlo Park for the past 15 years, and our 2 children attend Hillview Middle School. In terms of educational background, I have 3 degrees from Stanford University, a Bachelor of Science in Land Use Planning and a Master's and a PhD in Civil Engineering. And this background uniquely qualifies me to address the challenges that Menlo Park will face in the coming 4 years. Today, I work for Siemens, developing large clean energy projects that pay for themselves out of future energy savings, and so I deal with financials every day. During my service here in Menlo Park, together we have done so much. We have 3 fabulous state-of-the-art recreation facilities for our youth. The Tesla showroom, Facebook, Rosewood Sandhill. We started the downtown block parties. We saved Kepler's twice. And on a more serious note, with our renewed focus on police, we had 2 major gang busts that translate directly into safer streets and safer schools. But Sacramento is after our tax dollars and tries to tell us how to do land use planning. Cargill wants to fill the bay on the north shore of Menlo Park. I'm running to fight these threats and to finish laying the foundation of the city so that we can prosper in the generations and decades to come and remain the residential jewel of the peninsula.
Thank you, Kelly. Catherine, you're next. Catherine Carlton.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm absolutely delighted. I've attended many League of Women Voters events on that side of the audience, and so I'm excited to be here tonight with you. As Vice Chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission, volunteer of many nonprofits, wife of a very loving husband, tonight is actually my anniversary, and mother of two absolutely fabulous kids, we are delighted to call Menlo Park our home. I'm running for Menlo Park City Council because I'm passionate about helping Menlo Park become the best that it can be. I want Menlo Park to be a vibrant, safe, and financially sound community. I have an MBA and many years of running successful businesses, but for the 10 years that I've lived in Menlo Park nearly, I've worked to try and better the community. I've volunteered with HIP Housing, the Boys and Girls Club, the Junior League, Vista Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And as Vice Chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission, I've seen things come up like Flood Park, which cost a great deal of money. As a supporter of pension reform in Menlo Park, I've seen things like unfunded liabilities come up. So I'm aware of the city's increasing costs in maintaining our city's wonderful parks and services that we have. I'm concerned about the empty spaces in downtown Menlo Park and El Camino and the stagnant industrial areas, which should be producing revenues for the city. We need to start acting now to ensure long-term fiscal health so that our community's great services and facilities are available for many years to come, for generations. But it's not just about money. It's also about quality of life. We deserve to have a great downtown Menlo Park. We need to enable downtown Menlo Park to have the restaurants and the great places to shop, not only for the residents, but so that people from other cities are inspired to come and spend their good tax dollars in our city. So I thank you very much for having me here and look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you, Catherine. Carolyn Clark now.
Thank you for coming tonight, and thank you to the League for hosting this event. I am Carolyn Clark, a 15-year resident of Menlo Park. I am a financial advisor on tax issues and happy to report that many of my clients live right here in the city. My experience includes working on budgets and financial statements for organizations such as Stanford University Overseas Studies, Kaiser Family Foundation, the Trust for Public Land, and several nonprofits in the Bay Area. Other experience I have include a corporate tax accountant with Grant Thornton, an auditor with Nigro Carlin & Siegel, a public accounting firm, and also as a project accountant with the Los Angeles County Transportation Commission. Currently, I serve on the city's Housing Commission, with more specific work on the Housing Element Steering Committee. Housing in Menlo Park is a complex issue, and the recent lawsuit against the city has forced us to rezone for more housing, and we are moving quickly to catch up since the council was not proactive on this years ago. The housing problem is only a tip of the iceberg. The real burning issue is the city's neglect in updating the 1992 general plan. The housing element is only one part of the general plan. Our challenge is to look to the future with vision while protecting the true heart of Menlo Park. A healthy city needs a balance of housing, sales tax generating businesses, workable roads, recreational services, and feeling of safety as we go about our lives. I believe I'm well qualified to serve the residents of our city, on our city council to maintain our quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn.